Dan Le Batard.
Devontae, I wanted to congratulate you for the great season you had, and obviously the highlight of that had to be named the MVL, the most valuable Lobo.
God.
And I'm curious, where were you when you first heard that you'd won, and what did that mean to you exactly?
When I heard of what now?
Stugotz.
Devontae, the name of his fantasy football team is Greg's Lobos.
Greg, that's your contribution? Honestly, asking him, I mean...
To be honest, I don't know nothing about fantasy.
That explains why he didn't attend our...
Shut up!
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that Tim Tebow will pursue a baseball career. Tebow will hold a workout for all 30 Major League teams later this month. Brandon Crawford of the San Francisco Giants went 7 for 8 last night in a win against the Marlins. Crawford became the first player in 41 years to get 7 hits in a single game. And finally, a man who was once killed in a hit and run died the same way in Dallas. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to SportsCenter on ESPNRadio.com all throughout the day.
A man who was once killed.
A man who once killed a man in a hit and run died the same way in Dallas.
Okay.
I didn't say it that way?
No.
Oh. You sure?
You want to
not.
hear back how you said it? You had a man dying twice, the way you said it.
Well, that seems impossible. And that'd be a hell of a story.
Didn't you say you'd be better at reading those than Greenberg? Like, you think he's ever killed a man twice? You think Greenberg, you said you'd be better at doing those SportsCenter flashes than Mike Greenberg.
I've been flawless today.
No,
I mean,
for
with
the
the
love
exception
of
of that.
with the exception of killing a dude twice.
Yeah. I did say I'd be better than Greeny at this. I'm not.
Okay, well, what you've just noticed happening here is the dumpster juice from the Cody segment has stained the entire show.
No, it really has.
I just came to the realization that Cody is not unlike my father. My father doesn't get the television show that we do. The things that my father thinks are funny are not ever the things that air. When my father thinks he's being funny, that all gets edited out of the show.
Really?
The stuff that gets in the show is my father saying, hey, I can do that over if you guys need me to. And we're like, no, Dad, we were howling with laughter because that was really funny. My father doesn't get what we're doing on television.
Gotcha.
Cody, what just happened there with Back in My Day
Right.
felt a little bit like that.
Did it?
And now we can't get this off of us because look at what Stugotz just did because Stugotz thinks he read this differently. Listen, Stugotz, to how you read that.
Finally, a man who was once killed in a hit and run died the same way in Dallas. I killed him twice. I don't want to put that on Greg Cody, though. That's something that could happen to me at any time. I don't want to.
That's true. I have to say.
I don't want to make Cody feel
I
badly
mean,
for that. Yeah.
You know, come on.
All right, but we're sinking into the muck is
Right.
what's happening generally here. It's hard to imagine that Stugotz, during a show in which we interviewed Bill Spaceman Lee and he accidentally thought he was Doc Ellis, that would only be his second biggest mistake of the show.
Made the interview.
I mean, yes, you found this great place. You found this great place in broadcasting where your incompetence is a gift that bears fruit at every turn for everybody.
8:45 SportsCenter hit tomorrow morning.
It's amazing. Again, listen to this. This is Stugotz, and Stugotz who suffers from, what is it, Dunning-Kruger effect, where he thinks he's great at everything. And Dunning-Kruger effect is the unskilled thinking that they are superiorly skilled.
Right.
This is Stugotz thinking he's better at reading sports flashes than professional broadcaster Mike Greenberg.
Finally, a man who was once killed in a hit and run died the same way in Dallas.
One of my favorite things is when Stugotz pauses to gather himself amid the mess that is his incompetence.
Finally, a man who was once killed in a hit and run died the same way in Dallas.
And just bang. Just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that right. Nailed it.
Yeah, good timing.
Hoping no one would notice.
Time now for a new Suey. Speaking of useless sounds around here, here's the category, Useless Sound of the Year.
And now, the Suey nominees for Useless Sound of the Year. Bill O'Brien.
Well, I'm the leader of the ship, Brian. When we come in here and we don't play like the way that I expect us to play, I look in the mirror.
Dan Campbell.
Jarvis is a football player, and sometimes that gets lost. Well, they're all football players. He is a football-playing dude.
Dan Campbell.
The sleeping giant is awake. He can't take a nap. There are no naps, okay? We got to keep him up and alive.
Dan Campbell.
If all 11 guys are on the same page and you have the wrong call, you can still succeed if you have the right animals, and we do.
Jim Tonsula.
His foot's sore. I don't want to put a medical label on it, but he's sore in there, and so I guess it's a bruise.
Jim Tonsula.
I know we have 12 games to play, and we need to play them.
Lovie Smith.
To beat a good football team, you have to play good football. We didn't play good football today. Normally, when you don't play good football against a very good football team at home, you lose.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman.
It's more about just going out there and hammering the nail away all the way in. That's what Coach always says. Don't just hammer away, because if you don't, you're going to be stubbing your toe on the floor with the nail coming out.
Jason Garrett.
And I love the spirit of our team. Those are things that we can build on. Our team doesn't blink.
John Fox.
Every play you either call a run or a pass. It's kind of like heads or tails. If it goes the other way, it doesn't work. You wish you'd have called the other one.
Mike Pettin.
You lose trust in buckets and you regain it in drops. And I think that certainly applies here.
Mike Tomlin.
More than anything, the belief in the face of adversity, I thought, was a common thread that allowed us to make the necessary plays to get out of the stadium.
Doug Baldwin.
Do you listen to the noise? Depends on your definition of listen.
Mike Tomlin.
Obviously, this is not his first rodeo, professionally speaking, and with us.
Mike Tomlin.
Take my hat off to the guys and what they were willing to do. We were able to get out of the stadium today.
Rashad Jennings.
The funny thing about this game is it's 0-0. At the end of the game, it's not going to be 0-0.
Yeah.
Mark Brunell.
Playing the quarterback position isn't only about what you do. It's about what you don't do.
Marvin Lewis.
Come in here, put our heads down, go to work, and, it'd be a hard hat and lunch pail kind of day for us.
Gary Kubiak.
We dug ourselves a hole as a team in the first half, and we showed a lot of character getting out of the hole.
Herm Edwards.
It's not about how much you paid a guy. You got to listen to your eyes, and your eyes don't lie.
Herm Edwards.
Coach with your feet or you coach with your seat? He's the guy that coaches with his feet.
Jamus Winston.
And you look at our guys, we got a bunch of football players. We don't have athletes.
Ron Jaworski.
He's seeing ghosts and not seeing his receivers.
Ron Rivera.
There are some intangibles that you can't measure.
Todd Bowles.
They have to win, and we have to win. So, that's what NFL makes the schedule for it.
Tom Jackson.
It's like he's got his doctorate now in quarterbacking.
Trent Dilfer.
Been there, done that. Pelts on the wall. I always say that matters in football.
Chuck Pagano.
One play at a time. Win your battles no matter what. Just win your box. No judgment. It's our process. 60 minutes, one play at a time, all you got. And just keep throwing haymakers.
Chuck Pagano.
It speaks to the character of this football team and their ability to block out the noise, keep the blinders on. Keep the earmuffs on, stick to the grindstone, keep chopping, keep working, keep preparing, keep playing.
God! He's running up the score!
Why is Mike Tomlin always trying to get out of the stadium alive?
Man, that Jaworski analysis does not belong in there. Some dude seeing ghosts instead of receivers? That's great analysis. Mike Tomlin, you got to play for me just the two Paganos, because in the two, my God, I don't even know how to explain what this is with Pagano, where it's as if you were doing a game show. Say as many cliches as fast as you can. Pagano, you're the Guinness World Book of World Record holder.
Chuck Pagano.
One play at a time. Win your battles no matter what. Just win your box. No judgment. It's our process. 60 minutes, one play at a time, all you got. And just keep throwing haymakers.
Chuck Pagano.
It speaks to the character of this football team and their ability to block out the noise, keep the blinders on, keep the earmuffs on, stick to the grindstone, keep chopping, keep working, keep preparing, keep playing.
Holy bleep, man! Chuck Pagano's next press conference has to be just him bending over and just spewing diarrhea all over the microphone.
9 clichés each, 18 total in
That's
about 15 seconds.
amazing. That is amazing. And he's like showing off. It's like, oh, you think I could just do grindstone? Watch some earmuffs here and some blinders. I got some more for you here.
Showing off the whole
I got a box, I got a process, I got one at a time. What you got?
Keep working, keep chopping.
Keep chopping, keep keep working. There's some wood here. Keep chopping it and keep working. Keep hitting it with the...
But blinders and grindstone are in the Hall of Fame of cliches.
God.
I mean, those are
definite haymakers.
Yeah.
I wanted to fight Chuck Pagano in the middle of that.
Chuck Pagano.
One play at a time, win your battles no matter what. Just win your box, no judgment. It's our process, 60 minutes, one play at a time, all you got, and just keep throwing haymakers.
Chuck Pagano.
It speaks to the character of this football team and their ability to block out the noise, keep the blinders on, keep the earmuffs on, stick to the grindstone, keep chopping, keep working, keep preparing, keep playing.
You can listen to the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz 10 to 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio, and you can watch on ESPNU.